Very confused, very clueless, really struggling with finding what I thought was going to be my eventual pursuit, so to speak, in life. Um, then the only thing that I think back on is how much I troubled my mom. When we grew up watching films, at no point did we ever stop to think about the body type of the actor or the actress. We never stopped to think about it. We had actors and actresses of all shapes and sizes. Not everybody comes with a six pack, and not everybody comes with a bikini bod. This kind of creating the poster of an ultimate man or an ultimate woman, is not a healthy thing,
Absolutely.
because it
Absolutely.
immediately creates a lot of um, stress issues, mental stress issues, for people who don't fit that idea.
Body type.
I don't think anybody would be happy with their family being attacked on any kind of platform, or for any reason. At the end of the day, if you have an issue with me, right or wrong, if you do have an issue with me, I mean, the issue should end with me. I don't feel that it has to go past me to anybody
Yeah.
else. No matter what happens in my life, this question of Dawn 3 keeps following me around. I think the police have stopped chasing Dawn and have started chasing me. That's that's actually what has happened.
I remember meeting him many, many years ago in Calcutta, where I was a nobody, and he still was equally warm and affectionate towards me. Today, after so many years, the Farhan Akhtar I knew has not changed. The craft in him has not changed, only gotten better. But the point that we all keep telling him is do more films. So today we have Farhan Akhtar joining me for a conversation only on Bollywood Bubble. How many times have you heard this complaint? Do more films as a director, as an actor, whatever, but do more films.
Many times I've heard this, but what to do here? I'm very fussy about my choices.
But Farad, before I begin and about Toofan, I want to ask you that a lot of people respect everything that you do. You are a man of many faces. You sing, you direct, you write, you act. There's nothing you can't really do. I want to know. There was a point of time in your life you
Mhm.
didn't know what you wanted to do.
Yeah, that is true.
From there to here, how do you see the transformation? Do you remember those days? How confused or clueless were you at that point?
Very confused, very clueless, really struggling with finding what I thought was going to be my eventual pursuit, so to speak, in life. Um, then the only thing that I think back on is how much I troubled my mom. That's the only that I think back on. And I'm so happy that whatever's happened in life, whether in Zoya's or in mine, that somehow that she's like just somehow in a happier place because of all of this. For me, that's a big thing.
Today, when a film like Toofan, is released on an OTT platform because of the situation we are in, but it's still so well received, and the amount of footfalls and the amount of viewership
Mhm.
might be much more than what it would have been if it released in theaters at this point.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah. Do you feel a sense of validation? Because people who have watched the film, if you go on Twitter, forget the critics. If you see audience reviews, I will do one segment with you. You should just read the reviews. Normal audience, normal people, common man have loved it.
Hmm. Well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, as anybody who's involved in the making of a film, not just the actor or just the director. I mean, this goes down to every single person, like Shankar Ehsan Loy, for example, or my father who's written the lyrics, or Jay Oza who shot the film, Akanksha who did costume. I mean, the film belongs to everyone, so when they hear from people, how this movie is affecting them, how it's making them feel, how they feel that it's time well spent, because that's also very, very important.
Yeah.
It fills you with a lot of joy, and you feel grateful, and the fact is we've all worked really hard to make this film, and for people to somehow accept it the way that they have, is an amazing thing. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, you should be very grateful.
When you do a sports biopic, because you've done one in the past, which is again supremely loved and applauded, in
Yeah.
terms of box office, also it did so well. This would have also done I think if not better, equally well at the box office if it released in at theaters. I want to know that does it have to be so layered? There are so many topics that you hit upon in Bhag, and
Hmm.
there are so many topics you hit upon in Toofan as well, which
Hmm.
is primarily just not sports, but way beyond that.
Yeah.
Does it have to be layered for you? Does the director work in you when you sign a film as an actor?
No, I mean it's not the director working in you, but I mean the fact that you're a part of you're a storyteller. Huh? I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
So whether the one part of the story is being told by the director, one part is being told as the actor, so that's what you connect on. And any sport film, yeah, if you look at any sport film that you have liked, um, it is very rarely about the sport. It is about the people
yeah,
playing that sport. It is about the struggle of the person in that sport. And that's what makes it real, because I mean, a game is a game, and a sport is a sport, but what sets it apart is that person's journey within that world is what sets it apart.
absolutely.
And that has to have some relatability in terms of the humanity of it, the human emotions of it. That's very, very important. You have to be able to identify with that person. Not everybody who watches Toofan will say, "Oh, I want to start boxing." That won't happen. But what is it that they are connecting with? They're connecting with the fact that we all have struggles, and we all would love a
Yeah,
second chance. We would love a second chance in life. We would love to be accepted for who we are without prejudice. So these things are just, they're basic human messages. And it's wonderful that people are recognizing them in the film and are connecting with them. That is very heartening to see.
in life, professionally or personally, have you ever faced any kind of prejudices like this, and how did you battle them personally?
I personally can't say that I've faced prejudices to this extent, like in the film that you see. But at the same time, we are all connected through the fabric of society.
Yeah,
We all are. I mean, as wherever you may live somewhere, I live somewhere. We have different circles of friends, and you know what I mean. But the fact
yeah,
is that anything that happens affects us in some way or the other. Even if it's just in thought, it affects us. So it's important to speak also in films about common concerns.
yeah.
It doesn't have to affect me directly, but if it's affecting people that I know, or if it is affecting the general mindset at large, it is important to call it out. It's important to speak about it. And that's one aspect of this film. It touches upon something, and it talks about something that at this moment, or for a while now, has been there's an atmosphere that's been created about it, and
Absolutely.
it's a false premise, and it's a false narrative. So it's important to speak about it.
You have been one of the most vocal people and one of the most honest human beings from the industry. Last year, I have seen you getting criticized for something that you are not even involved in, just because of your surname, and that's sad because on on one hand, we say that art has no boundaries, and
Hmm.
then we only limit it by religion, by caste, by creed. Different kind of discrimination happens,
Hmm.
and I loved how you treated that entire issue in the film, and Rakesh Mehra also, because it was filled with a lot of emotions and a lot of respect and dignity to both sides, which is how it should
Absolutely.
be. Do you feel that that is missing in today's life because of the situation and because of the circumstances that has been happening?
No, you can't say it's missing, because I mean, of course, there are many people like-minded who share this concern. So there are many people like that, and those people have to be given respect. Those people have to be given again a platform to be able to speak from.
Yeah,
And their volumes need to be turned up. That needs to happen, and we need to, again, like I said, it's important to share in that common concern, and you can share in that common concern and let it, because you're in an artistic endeavor, you can let it reflect in your work. That's
yeah,
what you can do, because I mean, there's one thing going out and giving a speech, but the way a film can reach out, and the film can kind of convey something to you, in a way, is it's pretty extraordinary. And there is a power to cinema that we are all very aware of. So
yeah.
why should we not use that to also facilitate some kind of positivity? We should. Why not? I mean, entertaining is one thing, but there can be something more.
In the last few years, when I talk about certain scenes that have and will stay with me, include the one in Kahani where Vidya Balan is taking off that baby bump, the fake bump. Then there's one in Fan where Shahrukh sir is looking at his wrinkles. He's
Yeah,
aging as a star.
yeah.
And there is one in Sultan where he's looking at his paunch. And we have a
Hmm.
similar scene in Toofan where you are looking at your body which has gone through changes. And to a viewer, it might look like a scene, but to do that, first of all, two things. It's very difficult to do that because your body type has to change throughout the film, so that's another task.
Yeah.
And you've not resorted to prosthetics to show it. Secondly, in a world where social media and imaging has become the go-to thing, for an actor of your caliber to even come out and show that this is normal, to normalize that image of a lead actor on screen
Hmm.
takes guts. Were you told about all this? Like, did it never cross your mind, like any of these two things?
Um, no, not really, actually, to be honest.
But
Um,
fantastic scene.
Thank you. But I'm very thankful to you for saying something that you just said, which is that when we grew up watching films, at no point did we ever stop to think about the body type of the actor or the actress. We never stopped to think about it. We had actors and actresses of all shapes and sizes. When I can talk about, say, the leading men, we had somebody as tall and kind of skinny and lanky, long legs like Mr. Bachchan is. We had the macho man Dharmendra. We had Sanjeev ji, who was a different shape and size of his own. And
Yeah,
similarly, like, and they had like what is considered just a regular male body. Do you know what I'm saying? And it never felt like, oh, these people are not fit, because they would still beat people up at the end of a film,
true.
and they would still be romancing women, and they would still be doing whatever they did. And women would also just be completely comfortable in their skin. The actresses were completely comfortable. There were no size zero, size one, size two. None of that was going on. And it was absolutely wonderful because that's how life is. Not everybody comes with a six pack, and not everybody comes with a bikini board. You know what I'm saying? So, given that aspect, what you're saying is absolutely correct. That when you see this guy, we know what we consider is the out of shape. Okay, he's out of shape because he's an athlete, but you have to be comfortable in your skin.
Yeah,
You have to be comfortable in your skin. And the fact that there is a relatability to that, and at the end of the day, he's this way. If he decides he wants to lose weight and can do it, if somebody is watching anything, yeah, I've been thinking about it for the longest time. Okay, I need to lose some weight. Even I should be able to do it because this guy has not done it with prosthetics. He's actually gone and done it. You know,
absolutely.
so that aspect is normal. But I feel that there is too much emphasis paid on body. There is too much emphasis paid on that. Because it's that's not how life is.
Yeah,
This kind of creating the poster of an ultimate man or an ultimate woman, is not a healthy thing,
absolutely.
because it
Absolutely.
immediately creates a lot of um, stress issues, mental stress issues, for people who don't fit that idea.
Body type. Yeah,
So what you're saying is absolutely right. We should not be so driven by it, and especially as an industry that again has such an impact on what is popular.
true. How did the family react? Today, your kids are also growing up and they understand the cinema that you do. So, how do you look forward to their reaction? How did your father react? I have heard that he's very critical of your work. So,
Yeah.
how did your father react? How did Shibani react? How did Zoya react to the film?
They all absolutely have loved the film. They've completely recognized the effort of work in it, and not just me. I mean, of course, even Paresh ji, even Mrunal,
Yeah.
Hussein, Dr. Mohan Agashe, like everyone. I mean, they've said wonderful things about all of them. And yeah, so it felt great. I mean, like to have your near and dear ones appreciate a film that you've done.
On one side, you have the industry and the audience loving it, and you do know that there is with social media comes a lot of bullying, cyberbullying as we call, and it's very doctored and manufactured today. The problem with social media, I don't know if you will agree, if they, I know that you are a person who would be okay to hear that you didn't do well in this movie, But sometimes, and most of the times on social media, trolls attack people's and actors' personality. Does it affect you when it affects you? Has it ever affected you? And today, when they attack your family, does it affect you more?
I don't think anybody would be happy with their family being attacked on any kind of platform, or for any reason. At the end of the day, if you have an issue with me, right or wrong, if you do have an issue with me, I mean, the issue should end with me. I don't feel that it has to go past me to anybody else. I'm here for you to be able to talk to. Also, I do feel that if there is any criticism that has to come your way, when it comes wrapped up in any kind of abuse, when it comes wrapped in any kind of I don't know, like whether bigotry, any kind of prejudice.
Yes.
How can you take that seriously? I mean, at the end of the day, a person revealing how hateful they are, it shows me how ugly that person is. It tells me very little about myself, but it tells me a lot about you. So that's really what it is. I mean, if you want to have a conversation about something and discuss it, and even maybe change my mind about something, I'm more than happy for my mind to get changed, but I'll indulge with you in a conversation if it's a respectable conversation.
Yes.
There's no point. I mean, there's that classic saying that never wrestle with a pig because you will get dirty and the pig loves it. And the pig loves it. So, so that's what it is.
Lastly, there are so many projects that you have in line. There's an Ashutosh Gwarikar film. There's the Salim Javed documentary, which is, I think, the most awaited one since its announcement. And people are looking forward to you directing something also. So I will quickly ask all of this in one question. Dawn 3 ke baare mein bhi sab bolte. I know you're tired of answering that. But I want to know, is there a plan to get to direction? And what about these films? When are you starting? What do you do?
Yeah, I would like people to understand through your channel that I make other films also. That I also make other films and I also hope to make other films. And no matter what happens in my life, this question of Dawn 3 keeps following me around. I think the police have stopped chasing Dawn and have started chasing me. That's actually what has happened. But I mean, currently I'm focused on Ashu's film. That's what I want to do next, and of course the Salim Javed documentary. That's a very exciting project that we are doing. So I'll stay focused on that, and anything and everything that needs to come after that will be revealed when the time is right.
Thank you so much. It is always lovely to talk to you, and always feels very little. Even if we speak for an hour, it will still feel little.
Thank you,
man. You are a really, really amazing person and amazing to talk to. You speak.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, man.
Thank you for doing this, Farhan, and thank you for respecting everything that I told you.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you so much.